Thank you very much. And now we're going to hear examples from Latvia. And I would like to hand over the floor to our next speaker, Maija Katkovska. And we're going to, she's been the coordinator of the Latvian Safer Internet Centre since 2006. She shares her experience in national expert groups dealing with legislative educational issues. In 2015, during the Presidency of the European Union, she participated at the Digital Assembly that was organized in Riga. Her work at the Safer Internet Centre has been recognized with several awards, including the 2023 Cross of Recognition of the President of the Republic of Latvia. Maija, the floor is yours.
It's been a pleasure to be here to visit Hungary again. And I think you will have a useful 25 minutes with me, around 25 minutes, because I think I have gathered 3 quite interesting activities, methods, tools that we have used in Latvia to keep children safe online. Yes, before I start with our methods, with our activities, I will shortly tell who we are. So, Latvian Safer Internet Centre, we are part of the European network of Safer Internet Centres, and we have all Safer Internet Centres in Europe. I know there is a Safer Internet Centre in Hungary as well. So, we have 3 main tasks. The first one is to raise awareness, to educate, to inform children, their parents, teachers about online risks and safe and positive use of internet by organizing campaigns, visiting schools, developing teaching and methodological materials, training the trainers, engaging volunteers, also we have a youth panel we consult with youngsters about the materials and the campaigns we make for them. Then we have also a hotline where people can report online breaches and illegal content, but the main aim is to limit the dissemination of child sexual abuse materials online. And the reports that we receive are processed in the cooperation with the state police and the internet service providers. So we are an NGO, and we cooperate with law enforcement and with the public bodies as well. And our partner, Child Protection Center, they ensure the work of a helpline. There are psychologists who are helping children, consulting them what to do in case they have encountered a problem situation online. They have this call option and the chat option as well, since not all the kids want to call. Maybe they are in one room with the bully, so they actually cannot call at that moment. They need to write a message. So there are different options for children to reach the helpline. Yes, since we are a small NGO, of course, we need funding. We need to find funding somewhere. So we are funded by the European Union through the Digital Europe program. All the Safer Internet Centres receive funding from the Digital Europe program. And since from the European Commission covers only 50% of our expenses, then the rest amount we receive from the Ministry of Smart Administration and Regional Development. For the work of hotline, we receive the co-funding from the National CERT which is the cyber incident response institution subordinated to the Ministry of Defense of the Republic of Latvia. And helpline receives national co-funding from the Ministry of Welfare. And as I mentioned, we are part of the InSafe network, that is the European Network of Safer Internet Centres, and in-hope association of hotlines, where all the 57 hotlines from 53 countries are there to fight for child sexual abuse, image dissemination online. And in the In-Hope Association, we also we have a database where we insert all the legal content, and we cooperate and receive regular training with the Europol and Interpol as well. So I will show you three our methods and examples, activities, what we are doing, quite diverse. So the first one is the grooming prevention tool that we developed, and statistics that we see from analyzing the tool, the results. Then also I will tell you about the diagnostic test in schools that we organize, and also a bit different angle about the guidelines for using AI in education that we developed this summer. So about that grooming prevention tool in 2021, our hotline, we received enormous number of child sexual reports about child sexual abuse images online. In 2020, we received around 2,000, and in 2021, it was 23,000 reports that we had to deal with. And analyzing the content, we understood that around half of those is self-generated child sexual abuse materials. Which means that children were groomed online. Most of the cases, they were at their home, in their safe environments, in front of the camera. So they were told by somebody to undress, to do some activities in front of camera that was filmed, that the pictures were taken, and they were all found somewhere on the internet at the end. Children actually didn't feel they didn't feel like victims because they were in their safe environment. They were at home. They are used to get undressed when they go to sleep. When they are in their bedroom, they are used to get undressed when they take the shower. So they are in their safe environments. But for them, the mobile phone is always there. The computer is always there. They don't see the risk of undressing in front of the camera. So we realized we have to do something to warn children, to tell about the risks, to tell them where those pictures later on will appear, that they will not be able to delete it permanently forever. So together with the state police and the Children Protection Center, we developed a tool, an online tool, kind of a self-help test, which consists of questions to assess that helps children to test their online friendship. So, and we had some campaign and just very short questions for children that the campaign rolled out on social media, and we asked them, with whom are you friends online? Test your friendship. So, and they were like, well, adults like testing themselves, children like testing themselves, so it seemed like a game for them. So they tested their friendship. This is how, yes, and if you're interested, yes, here was the link to our English version of the test. So if you are interested, you can go through the test and see the questions. And So this is how it looks. First, they should choose the age group. There is a separate, a simpler test for children up to 15 years old, then for youngsters, 16, 17 years old, then a separate test for specialists working with children. When, for example, a school psychologist, when a child comes and starts telling something about online friends, so the specialist has already questions. He knows what to ask to a child. And at that very moment also, after filling out the tests, the specialists, also parents, they can see the results and they are instructed what they should do, what should be the next steps. So, and the children need to write the nickname of the person they have communicated online, because at the later stage, the questions appear about that specific online friend. So the children don't, especially if they are online friends with like several people, they have several online friends. So in this way, they keep on answering about the same person that they are friends. And for the analytical purposes, we ask them their sex and age, and then we can analyze which groups of children are in most danger. Yes, the test consists of 12 to 20 questions, depending on the age group. And the questions are related to violations of criminal law against children. So, for example, one of the questions, let's imagine that the name of the friend is Leo. So the question is, did Leo try to persuade or force you to photograph or film yourself naked or in a way that your intimate body parts are visible? So if a child answered yes, then there's a little chat bot, and the child receives a short answer that Leo shouldn't have done so. Answer the rest of the questions and find out what you should do. And children have three options for the answer. It's either yes or no, or they say they don't remember. And after answering to all the questions, results are shown with the devices, how to do and what to do and where to get support if the answers indicate that the child may have experienced grooming. There are very simple suggestions for children. First, we ask them to call to the helpline because in some discussions with the state police psychologists, we understood that parents in these cases cannot be the first option that we send the child to get advice, because parents, not all parents react adequately. So they are at the very their first emotion is shock. So they make a child feel guilty, or they take away the phone, or they are angry at kid. So what kid does at that moment, he deletes everything from the phone, all the blocks the person, deletes all the evidence, and they just shut down, and they don't talk to police psychologists anymore. So it means that the police, they cannot find the perpetrator, and they cannot find other victims if that one child doesn't share information. So that's why we need children to get the support from the services. That the first step is going to services, and then of course at some point parents should be involved as well. And of course we tell children that they should save correspondence, photos and videos, and they shouldn't delete their social media profiles. Otherwise, if there's no evidence, then sorry, we cannot do much. We developed the tool in 2022, and during the 3 years period, there's more than 10,000 minors, children who have tested their online friendship. Yes, and also specialists and parents have filled out the test to understand what they should do. And here are the results. Among the first, I will show you the results of the among youngest children that are aged 8 to 15. So, for example, to a question, did a friend send you something that made you feel fearful, ashamed, or confused? So, 22% answered yes. Did a friend talk to you about intimate body parts? Then it's almost each third kid gave affirmative answer. Then question, did a friend try to persuade you or force you to take a photo or film yourself naked? Then again, it's almost 20%. So 1 out of 5 kids, they have experienced that somebody has asked them to send their naked pictures. And this is only statistics about the children who filled out the test, who tested their friendship. And then when we asked the next question, did you actually take a picture? Did you film yourself naked when a friend asked you to do so? Then we see it's 60% answered the yes, that when they've been asked by somebody to film themselves naked and send pictures, then they actually do that. And when we analyze the age groups, then I can say that those parents who have kids up to 10 years old and they have their smartphones, you should be very careful because especially if you have girls at that age, because to this question, did you actually film yourself naked after your friend asked you to do so? 80% of girls in the age of 85% of girls in the age of until 10 years old, they actually did what they were asked to do. So in the classroom, you have 20 girls. They say such young girls, so you can understand how many of them will actually do what they've been asked to do. Yes. 20% answered that yes, they received pornography. 13% answered with a yes, that they received pictures of a naked other child. So this is one of the approaches to encourage more children to send their naked pictures by showing the pictures of other children, saying them, well, other children send their pictures to me, so why don't you do that as well? Yeah, and then well, we could imagine that some part of these results reflect on peer-to-peer communication. But then we also had a question, did your friend ask to keep your communication as a secret? And 23% answered with a yes. So adults know that this is a criminal liability if they are grooming children. Well, like youngsters, peers, they don't actually really need to, keep it as a secret. And also, we asked, did a friend promise you money or gifts if you did what he wanted? And again, it's almost 20% answered with a yes. So peers would not offer gifts or money to their to other children when they are exchanging naked pictures. So this is what makes us think that it's like really grooming cases. And well, I can say that this kind of crimes have a very high latency, because we can see that there are, during 3 years period, we have I don't know, like 1,500 victims of grooming. But when I compare to the official statistics from the state police, then we see that around 100 cases per year are related to grooming. So, but here we have like 1,500 victims. So children, they just don't tell anybody. They keep it to themselves. And well, this is why we need to raise awareness. We need to talk to children. And yeah, when we had two a bit different questions for the older age group. We asked if your friend asked you to take pictures of your younger siblings or your friends, and then it's like 10% answered that yes, I was asked to send the pictures of my siblings or friends. And when we asked, did you actually take pictures? Then again, the percentage is very high. And when we asked, did your friend ask you to send those pictures? And did you actually send? So we see that, yes, here it's like real numbers. 217 youngsters have disseminated child sexual abuse images, and not their own pictures, but they've taken pictures of their younger siblings or their friends. Yes, this is quite an alarming problem. So as a awareness campaign, we also developed posters that we printed out, and we placed them in all the schools, in the libraries, and all the schools. And also one is for youngsters, and one is for adults. We sent also to children's hospitals for the posters for adults, and we placed them in all the police offices in the country, just to warn children and parents. And so I will remind you that we have the tool in English language as well, and you can check it. And it's actually possible to, since we own the tool, it is possible to translate to any language if you are interested to have it in Hungarian language as well. So because you have the access to the results, and you can analyze what is actually going on in the country about the online grooming for children. So please don't hesitate to contact me. I will show you my email address at the very last slide, on the very last slide. So the second bit different approach, what we are doing to keep children safe online, to educate them, keeping them resilient to online threats. As you might imagine, as an NGO, we don't have a fortune, we don't have a lot of money, and for us to conduct a survey would, like a regular survey, would cost a lot of money. So we had to find the new ways how to gather some statistical data, some information, and then we came with an idea that we should organize a diagnostic test in cooperation with the Ministry of Education and Science. And so we developed questions for 3rd and 6th grade school children, and with the help of Ministry of Education and Science, we disseminated the test to all the schools. It was not obligatory. The schools could choose if they participate in this diagnostic test about where we were assessing students' skills in safety and responsibility on the internet and critical thinking. But yeah, we can see that more than 50% of all the schools participated. So we got a great number of respondents. So it's more than 18,500 students that took part in this diagnostic test. And again, we had results. We saw what children at that age group, what they have answered. I could imagine how much it would cost for us to pay for the agency to conduct a survey in schools, in like half of the schools in the country, and to ask those questions to children. And the test included combined questions. First part was we asked them to to assess themselves, their activities online. And the second part was based on like testing the knowledge of children. I will show you just a couple of the results. This is the diagnostic test that we conducted in spring 2025. So, for example, well, I thought, yeah, sorry, here you still see Latvian language, but I thought, okay, maybe I shouldn't bother myself translating everything to English, because I will let you learn some Latvian here as well. So, yeah, but I will translate for you, of course. So, for example, the self-assessment question was, can you name online risks and would you be able to avoid them? And then 46% say that yes, they can name and they are able to avoid the risks. But still, there are more than 50% who say that they are not sure if they are able to avoid the online risks, and that they are like, and even 9% say that they are sure that they don't know anything about the risks and they are not able to avoid. And then we had this test question. We asked, what would you do if a person that you met online sent you a picture of a naked child and asked you to send your naked picture? And your friend requests you to keep it as a secret and promise a present for you. So 85% say they wouldn't send anything, they would stop the communication, and they would, yes, tell somebody, either parents or the helpline. But 15% of children, they answered that they would, like 10% answered that they would not send their naked picture, but they would keep on communication with this person. And then the 5% answered that they would actually send their naked picture because he received the naked picture of another child. Well, if we look at the percentage, then it seems nice, but then it seems okay, a good result, because it's for the third graders. They are 9 years old. 85% seems good, but when we see the actual numbers of children, so it's 1,500 children who would continue to talk with that person, who would actually send their naked picture, and 1,500, it's way too much for such a small country as Latvia, with around 1.6 million inhabitants only. So it's quite alarming. And again, here these answers are reflecting very much to this grooming prevention tool that I showed you. So it's really goes together, the results. Yeah, just some, for example, question, are you careful with sharing your and family's private information? And well, 51% of children honestly answered that no, they are not careful with sharing their private information. And when we ask, do you feel safe on the internet? Then again, half of the children say that partly, or they don't feel safe online. Or how much time you spend online. So. Well, Anna had different statistics about how much average time on average children spend with their smartphones. And about registering on TikTok. So they kind of know very well what is the allowed age to be registered on TikTok. Because here again, I'm talking about the 9-year-old children. But when we go to the classrooms for lectures and we ask them, please raise your hands who are on TikTok, then we see that around 90% of the children who are not even allowed to be there, they are on TikTok. They have registered already. So yeah, and this is the answers from the sixth graders. So they are around 12 years old. For example, do you share information responsibly? Then it's again, so more than 30% say that no, they're like being honest that they are not sharing information responsibly. And for example, like a test question where we ask, a classmate writes to you that today school is closed. If you don't verify the information, and then the 63% that they are responsible for the consequences of this message if they don't verify the information. But still, more than 30% say that it's just a joke and they are not responsible because the reader of the message should be kind of decide if this is true or not. Somehow children, they don't feel responsible about the content they are sharing online. And what we see that, well, adults do that as well. So we really need to work hard on teaching them that you are responsible for every message that you share, that you disseminate, what can impact the society. Oh yeah, just some other just questions. You can see what kind of questions we asked in this diagnostic test, and then at the end, the teachers who registered their classes, their children to participate in this diagnostic test, they get the results so they can see what is the situation in their classroom, what kind of questions are the most alarming, so the teachers know what kind of lectures to give, what kind of topics to choose when they are speaking to children about the online safety. So it's a nice, it's not very difficult to organize this kind of diagnostic test in schools, but it's really a very good approach and method to actually assess the situation. And it's also good for teachers, yes, that they know what are the weak points where they should pay more attention in education. And the third activity, a bit again different kind of. So we all know that children, they use AI for the education. They use for their tasks, for their assignments, and also they use AI not only for learning purposes, but some for also for some. Like fraudulent or maliciously, to humiliate somebody else, to develop deep fakes and so on. So we, together with teachers, researchers, AI and education experts, and also our youth panel members, we developed these guidelines that to how the AI should be used in education. So I will not tell you in details. We have the material on our website. It's very easy to translate. Of course, nowadays, very easy to use different tools to translate. If you are interested to also be introducing your educational, like elementary and secondary education with the guidelines, how AI should be used during the learning education process, you can ask me and I will share this information. And we have started to train the teachers about AI, what it is, how it works, the very basic of AI, because we see that youngsters, they are using AI, but teachers somehow they are still behind the youngsters. And just at the end, the last slide, just a couple of pictures of the materials, awareness materials that we have developed. For example, guides for parents, what is Roblox and what are the risks there, and teen accounts, what it is, how they work, what are the the pluses and minuses of teen accounts, and also the guide for parents, like parental control tools, like very detailed information how to set up a control tools in different platforms. So we have a very practical step-by-step guides for parents. Also, recently, together with our youth panel, we developed the guide of emojis and slangs that children use. Not only children, also adults use in the communication, which can actually make a big difference, especially maybe for the law enforcement, where you see a conversation with an adult has been communicating with a child, and then you see that adult is asking you once, and then is, for example, emoji with a hammer. So when you read it like that, it's like you want a hammer, so doesn't mean anything. But then when you know that the second meaning of hammer is actually sexual activity, then you see completely different context of what has been exchanged, what that adult has been asked to a child. So we have this kind of guide of how the emojis and slangs and tone indicators have been used. And we actually have developed a test. Last week, I conducted a training to the judges, prosecutors, and police officers. And at the very end of the training, I asked them to fill out the test to see if they know what these emojis mean that youngsters are using, and well, they were not very very good at guessing the real answers. So thank you, and if you have any questions, anything about our tools, please don't hesitate to write to me. So here's my email address. Thanks a lot.